2022 was not a very good year for movies. A lot of the movies that came out last year were either hit or miss. Some of them being pretty good, while others being pretty fucking bad. And that's really disappointing because movies are something that can bring us together in one way or another. And not just that, it's something that we can also connect with. And while 2022 did give us movies that did the exact opposite, I will argue one movie that was not from 2022 but came out many years ago is still what I would consider the absolute best, because had it not been for this particular film, my interest in movies would probably be non-existent.
You tried to... Okay.
The Land Before Time is not just fine, it's not just good, and it's not just another kid's film. The Land Before Time is something personal with a lot of heart and soul. It's a kid's film that kids' films that came after it forgot what it means to be a good kid's film. The Land Before Time is more than just beautiful. It's more than just superior to any other film that we got, particularly the ones that I had a absolute terrible time sitting through. The Land Before Time is cinema. But of course, I cannot just go around saying that without giving any reasons as to why. So today, that's what I'm going to try to do. The Land Before Time is cinema for 3 big reasons. Now, let me tell you, to maybe think of the Despicable Me music, or the Cars music, or even the Madagascar music. You can't.
Can you?
The music for those movies are so generic, you'll instantly forget about them once the movie is all over. However, with the Land Before Time music, not only is it memorable, it fits the emotion of the film, and on top of that, the melancholy tone, forgive me for that mispronunciation, fits the movie's theme perfectly, which leads me to my next point.
I'll be with you. Even if you can't see me.
What do you mean if I can't see you? I can always see you.
Littlefoot, let your heart guide you.
The theme for The Land Before Time can be interpreted as some things. One could interpret this movie as its themes being the dinosaur equivalent of the story of Moses, and they would be valid. One could interpret it as a film about anti-racism, friendship, and they'd be right too. However, in my opinion, the theme for Land Before Time is about accepting loss and the 5 stages of grief. Don't believe me? Our main character throughout the entire film goes through each of the 5 stages, like denial, depression, bargaining, anger, and acceptance. It's such a simple theme that is executed quite brilliantly, especially for a kid's film, because the story is simple and yet perfectly executed, which actually allows character development for our main character, which brings us to our final point of why The Land Before Time is cinema, because it contains the best protagonist in any film. Excuse me! As already mentioned, The Land Before Time is not one of those movies that juggle so much subplots and so much characters that the characters are given no character development and the many subplots go absolutely nowhere. The story is a lot more focused and consistent, and characters do get development. The overall plot line is resolved, and yeah, Littlefoot is the best protagonist in any film. Littlefoot is not some boring hero who only does the heroic deeds in the first place because the plot demands him to. In fact, he's not really much of a hero. He's an ordinary kid, a minority type in the middle of a civil rights movement type world, even though it's technically one filled with dinosaurs. Littlefoot is a kid with friends that he cares about, and a mother that he cares about. He has a desired goal: get to the Great Valley. Since this movie has its 3 acts, he goes through a character arc and goes through development. He starts the film having to listen by the fact that dinosaurs are only allowed to be with their own kind. It's not until after his mom's death that he realizes these people that he isn't allowed to be with have families that they lost too. And so by helping them get to the Great Valley, he's essentially helping them get back to their families. Even though he is very codependent on these friends, after a little, brawl, let's just say, he decides that he's the one who needs to help them, and in return, they help him back. And his mom's spirit helps them find their way to the Great Valley. Something that is called a character arc. You start the movie with Littlefoot in one place, and then you end with him in a completely different one. You can say what you will about The Land Before Time. It may not be a movie with the best action, and it's certainly not a movie with the most stacked cast. But from an artistic perspective, this is my personal favorite film that has ever been made. Sure, it may not be a perfect film, not by a long shot, but even though The Land Before Time follows a group of dinosaurs who are also children, it couldn't be more human if it tried. So that pretty much wraps it up. That is why I think The Land Before Time is cinema. Please don't forget to subscribe in case you want to see more content like this. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you on the next video.